Tommy has already flashed the windows, and that means it's time to trim them. And what have you got in mind for the trim, Tommy?
Well, we're actually going to use PVC trim.
Nice.
It's 5/4 material, which means it's a little bit over 1 inch thick.
Okay, so beefy, and that stuff's not going to rot.
Right. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put the flat stock around the window, at least the top and the 2 sides. So we start with a piece of flat stock that will go around like that, okay? And then you take your side piece, your side casing, and you'd slide it up tight to it and have what is called a butt cut.
Yep.
Problem is, all material expands and contracts, and when it contracts, that joint could open up just a little bit.
And that's going to allow water to get in.
And air.
Okay.
All right, we want to keep the house tight.
All right.
All right, so what I want to do is I really want to tighten up that joint really well. So the top casing, we'll actually put a rabbeted joint in it like that, okay? So now that goes up there. When I take the side casing, I'll do the same thing. I'll put a rabbeted joint at the top of that.
Sure.
So when this goes together, that goes under and locks in there nice and tight.
And even if that were to open up a little bit, we've got a lot of material behind there, and that's going to stop the water.
Right, and we're actually going to glue it and screw it together.
You are always battling the water, aren't you?
That's what water is the enemy. All right, so let's get a length for our head casing here. Line this right up like that. All right, now you take a scrap piece.
All right, to you.
Okay.
Flush?
Yep, flush would be good.
That's good right there.
Okay, good. Now I'll take that scrap piece and I'll take it down here and I'll hold it up against the window the same way you did down there, and I'll mark the outside of it. Okay, so that's our length for a head casing, and we didn't have to measure it.
All right.
Next thing I do is I want to locate the trim that's going to go in the mold unit right here. So I'm going to mark here and here and here and here. Okay, now we'll cut our length. All right, the next thing we want to do is we want to put our rabbets on the casing where we mark it. All right, the next thing we want to do is mark for our length for our window sill. So if you take your side casing and put the window sill flush like that, you see that a lot, but I like to extend it past it, the distance that it hangs out the front. In this case would be 3/4 of an inch.
A little bit more to me, a little bit more right there.
Okay, now
It's just a nice traditional look.
Yep, and the money's in the detail, that's what I always say. Little things like this make a difference. So I'll mark the center for our mulls. We have those positioned now. All right, so now I'll take a piece of scrap for the casing here. I'll mark the length and add 3/4. To fasten the side casing to the sill, we're going to screw it from the bottom. So I want to put a couple of holes here. I want to put a countersink in a little bit. All right, so now what we want to do is we want to prepare our side casing so we can screw that together. And we're going to use pocket screws. I want to take this PVC glue, put it on the joint so it'll really bond nice and tight. Do it there and here. Push it nice and tight, make it flush on the outside edge, and screw it together. Now we can screw our sill to the underside of our casing. I'm going to run a bead of caulking right here against the window. A nice bead because I really want to compress it. Let's hope it fits.
Oh, come on, let's hope it fits.
All right, get right in there.
Like a glove, Tommy.
Once in a while, you get lucky, Sonny. All right, let's screw it off.
I love it, Tommy. That looks terrific.
All right, I'll finish putting the screws in if you want to start filling all the holes with those bungs.
All right, you got it. Thanks for watching. This Old House has got a video for just about every home improvement project, so be sure to check out the others. And if you like what you see, click on the subscribe button to make sure that you get our newest videos right in your feed.